Tensions on the High Road. This is the next quest I'm going to pick up, and it will be right inside the capital. Made my way all the way back here from Batal. I'm expecting a soldier to approach me.
You're the Arisen, aye?
And there it is. It's in Checkpoint Rest Town. I forgot all about this. Did I mention that I don't know what I'm doing? So Simon here in the capital by this fountain has nothing to do with the ox carts here in the capital. In fact, he wants us to go back to Checkpoint Rest Town and escort the ox cart that is there back here. This is still part of the worst part of these next few quests that we're doing, is just a lot of the traveling back and forth. So I'll meet you over there. I thought about it, and before I head back to Checkpoint Rest Town, I have been carrying a key since the Ancient Battleground that allows me to get into the vault inside the castle. I've seen a few people do different things on how to get into this vault. I have gotten into the vault my first time through by trying to manipulate the paths of the different guards, and the last time I got into the vault, there was just no one guarding it, so I just ran inside and grabbed everything.
I'm about ready to fall asleep.
There are guards today, though. I don't know what this man is doing out here, but the actual door is not guarded or unlocked. So I imagine nobody's inside. There's the money for your house. And I'm out. And nobody even knows. This time I headed to Checkpoint Rest Town through the main road, something that I don't normally do.
About time you showed up. What was that sound?
We stopped the ox cart because of a sound.
Hold a moment.
A familiar face has shown up. We're going to side with him and start attacking the guards.
Foul! You would betray me.
I'm going to avoid lethal force, if you can call it that. Avoiding lethal force. Just for fun.
Curse you!
Phew.
He has run off into the woods. And the camera was not helpful there. Not really. Sometimes the camera swings around in all sorts of ways, but just follow the mission marker and you'll be fine. No. No. No goblins. No choppers. No.
My thanks. Just what I needed.
Why are you talking? What do you mean, my thanks, just what I needed? You don't talk. I don't like it when my pawn who doesn't talk starts talking. I've been cut off from my pawn.
Footing as well. Speaking of.
I'm not sure how he got down here, though. Either way, at this point, we're looking for a way out. I once made it up that slide. Very difficult. That one not as difficult, but they don't want us to go in that direction.
Makes for a duller life. Right.
Lore! We camped for the night. Now we're just going to leave. I say we are going to leave, but it's more like I am going to leave.
Well, this is a right awful place to be cut short.
I can't hear you anymore. There's rocks in the way. I finished Tensions on the High Road, and now I am going to continue with Steel Resolve, Blazing Forge. And it is in Batal, and instead of crossing the border again, which I'll have to do by going all the way around, I was given a gift recently. I don't like using these, but I'm going to use one this time. going to use a fairy stone to go to Batal and talk to Sarah. If you don't use a fairy stone here, then you have a long journey ahead. So I suggest just go ahead and using one. This was just one of those rare occasions where I did not want to make the journey on foot. Possibly because I'm recording video and it would just take a long time.
I've never seen this. Hi there, Arisen.
I gathered some information. I probably should have come here sooner. All I have to do right now is find a bench and rest. Without a residence permit inside of Batal, most of the residents, even though you did this Welcome to Batal fight, are not happy to see you. So you can't spend a lot of time in this area. I rested until the next morning. Let's see if that was a long enough time. Sarah is gone.
You're the one who brought that regalia sword here in the first place, aye?
So let's talk to him. Turns out she's missing, and we're going to have to go looking for her. Where has she gone, you might ask? She has gone not this way, unless you're on New Game Plus and you have a Godsbane like I do, but rather this way, through here, and all the way over here. But, and this happens a lot, on the way to the mountain base cave, we are going to encounter a man who needs some help. This is the quest. Put a spring in thy step. As we make our way through this road, there will be a man hunched over with back pain. There's the man. You can see he's hunched over. Don't shoot him.
Oh, what do you want?
He wants some wildflowers. What does he mean by wildflowers? Flowers. Any old flowers. Things that grow wild, out and about. Here's a bunch right here. I've brought you plenty.
Well,
Continue this later. Right now, we need to continue with Steel Resolve Blazing Forge. I like being an archer, as I use a wand to heal myself. Continuing on. Here's the entrance to the forge. As we make our way up to Sarah, we need to eliminate all of the enemies in our path. Don't run past them, as you will be running back past them. Also, this is the anvil. This is not the exact location that you need to be for Sarah to decide that she has arrived. You need to get her to about this area right here, where a cutscene will play and she will approach. If you run on ahead, she will wait for you to be in the right spot to trigger the cutscene. Take note of the way that you came in. We came in from over here and went around over here. This is a drop or a jump to a drop. It looks bad, but I believe it is safe to make as a shortcut on your way back. So you'll, from the forge, come out here, jump down, and come out and stand about here. It is timed. And it is timed difficultly. The thing is on fire. Remember, before you get too far in, to plan your route out. If If you want to, you can take this hole. I normally don't. Get rid of those water jars as I go along. Don't want them exploding on us. Okay. Oh look, I finally targeted it. Forge is down there. So, oh. Forge is down there. I'll be running up these stairs. Jumping into the pit and headed that way. Which will send me over this way. I'll jump straight out across and then come down here. That's the plan. Now for the execution.
If 'tisn't the hot...
Let's go! Right into the lava. Get some stamina back. Make the jump. Oh. Almost didn't.
We're nearly golden hot. Let's strive to keep it that way.
Yes. And don't have your dialogue in front of my map.
We've made it out.
There it is. And now that she's done that, we can go back into the forge and loot those chests that were in there. And instead of continuing all the way back to the blacksmith, we will continue put a spring in thy step. That'll send us over here to the man's house, where we will very, very slowly escort him all the way over here to the volcanic island camp and to the hot spring. Finally, even as you eliminate most of the enemies on the way to his house, on the way back, more enemies will spawn. As you can see, there's nothing here right now.
Forgive me, dear.
He's gone inside to fetch us a reward. He's not coming out. We need to go inside. I know what you can do. You can let me take all this stuff in your house.
Fear not.
What if I escort you? Safely and slowly. After all, I am at a heavy load right now with all of the stuff that I acquired from the forge? Mine? The last location. So I will be moving kind of slow. You don't want him to run. This will be a bit. Shade, stop. If, for some reason, you decided to do the Sphinx riddles before this time, you will get a sealing file. File? You can put him in that jar and release him when you have arrived at your destination, which will make all of this a lot quicker. Oh, look, the enemies that weren't there before. I do not do it that way. I don't mind taking my time and going slow. You cannot pick him up. His back hurts. Don't do that. You terrible, terrible person for even suggesting such a thing. He knows that it will take a long time. You agreed to escort him over this long Long journey, regardless of how long it takes. Keeping a pace that he is okay with. Honestly, if you do run, he will yell at you. You can probably do that a couple times without it affecting anything, but just don't. I'm not going to let you sit through all of this when you're going to have to sit through all of this on your own later. I'll meet you back at the location. That was unexpected. A griffin that I had aggravated earlier came to say hello. I was very worried. Turned out okay, though. I don't think the old man got hit. Can the old man please walk in? Okay. Continuing on. Hopefully nothing like that happens again. He said, ow, my back once, and I turned around and he was fine. He was just climbing some rocks. I wasn't too far ahead of him, so I don't know why that triggered. Maybe I missed it. And then I just, instead of hearing the griffin land, I just turn around and there's a griffin. And I have arrived. There does appear to be some kind of confrontation going on inside. But I am still moving slowly. Maybe I should let the townsfolk handle it. Zombies? Yeah, it looks like zombies. Zombies are not my problem. Although I am going that direction. Good job, Shade. Giving us sunlight. How does he climb a ladder with his terrible back pain? Let me ask you something. Do you like finding more quests in the middle of doing a bunch of other quests that you can't even complete right now? Well, have I got good or bad news for you, depending on how you answered that question. As we approach the hot spring, we will begin the quest, the Sotted Sage. Sotted? In the house of the old man that we're escorting, you picked up a newt liquor. You need 2 more of these, and you won't get them right away or yet, but you will get them later, and I'll show you how to get some of those. And you need them for the Sotted Sage. I'm not going to give him anything right now, but he will interrupt us as we get closer and the quest will begin. It will be very satisfying as each quest becomes completed. There's the Sotted Sage. You're not here yet, old man? You're really gonna make me encounter this guy first?
To a soft boil right here in the Ox.
Anyway,
At last.
he's run off.
'Twould seem I owe you a debt of gratitude.
His wife has thanked us. I'm pretty sure she gives us something, but I already have it. I don't know what it is. She gives us something. She also might remind you of something else that you need to do. Besides the Forge quest, she's an elf, and the Arbor Heart is ailing. So, now that the Forge stuff should be done, I'm going to return to Batal to continue the Ailing Arbor Heart quest, which, for some reason, occasionally I call Aberrant, but I cut all those parts out, so you don't even know that. Twixt a rock and a hard place is a quest that will be given to you somewhere in Batal as you come back to the blacksmith Sarah.
Beg pardon, sir.
Can you be trusted to take a letter to Ernesto? I won't be doing it right now, but there's the letter. Returning to the blacksmith will not only complete the Forge quest, it will also continue the Ailing Arborheart quest, which will then change out of the forage into the forge. Out of the forage? Out of the forest into the forge. So, let's get that started.
Wow, wow.
That quest is now changed to out of the forest into the forge. As soon as it's done with the prompts that it's giving me. Ailing Arbor Heart is done. Okay. That will be after this. There it is. So I have to return to the Arbor Heart. This means exactly what you think it means. But I will say that we are almost done with the longest journeying that we will do for quests. This is about the end of it. After this, it's just a few cleanup things, which are At Your Leisure, Spellbound, and the Sorcerer's Appraisal. Also,
do you
turning
think you're
in
doing here?
quests. Also, turning in the Regalia Sword, which has been restored, and going to take a look at the sculpture that the sculptor built. Before any of that, we're going to return to the Arbor Heart to inform them that they need to make a dish. A very smelly dish. So we will also need some rotting fish with us and some rotting apples, perhaps. So on your way, go ahead and pick up some fish if you want to, and just let them rot in your inventory. After all, we're going to make this journey once more all the way up here, because I'm not going through this area anymore. I think this is actually a much longer journey, and I don't need to go that way. If you want to go that way and you want to explore, go ahead. I encourage it. But I am going this way, and I am coming up through here, and I am coming up through here, and I am coming up around through here, and I am going over here. I could teleport. There's no problem with that because there's nothing between me and here that I need to deal with. But I'm actually going to save my teleports for when I am up here. I forget her name, but the sister of the elf boy, whose name I forget, will make the dish for us, and then we will teleport her with the dish all the way back down to Bak Batal. And that may be a while, so I'm going to end this recording here. I'm going to end this video here, put this together, and I will start those things at the beginning of the next one. This one might even be a little short, but just getting some explaining out of the way before we move on to the next thing from Captain Brandt.